meditations.
Namaste, beautiful beings of light.
Helena Prana has made it her life's mission to help people, to guide them onto a path of health, abundance, and fulfillment. And she does so using the healing sound of crystal singing bowls.
Sound helps to balance the hemisphere of the brain and helps to open the heart. So then we don't think.
Prana has taken her meditation sessions to Facebook, where she is teaching people to not think, meaning don't obsess about what's happening in the world.
Especially in this time, we don't need to numb fear, worry, anxiety, or anger. We need to transform them. Most people, they stuck in the mind. Yes? And mind always worry about the future, what's going to be. So they think about what's going to happen. And then fear gets attached to that thinking.
Prana says the focus, especially in today's uncertainty, needs to move away from fear.
But the more we meditate, the more we relax. And the more we relax our body and mind, especially mind, the more we are in the heart, the more we connected, the more happy we are, the more healthy we are. That they can do the tapping, they can do humming, and they can listen to the sound. So in like 15 minutes, we are able to release, to transform that fear, anxiety, worry.
Balancing the brain, shifting your thoughts, says Prana, is key to achieving clarity of mind, peacefulness of heart, and self-confidence. Calming, isn't it?
I love that.
You're very nice and quiet over there.
I know. I was watching that piece. It was, and I love her cadence in her voice even. Very calming.
Very nice. So Prana hosting a live meditation 10 o'clock this morning on her Facebook page. We will post a link so that you can join if you'd like.
Pandemic, we continue to strive to bring you the many good things and good stories that are coming out of this difficult time. The coronavirus has changed life as we know it, but it's also bringing out the best in our communities. Tonight, Maggie O'Mara has a look at just a few of the good deeds happening right now.
This is Piper Davis.
I'm 15 and I go to East Junior High School.
Like many kids, she's sad about not being able to go to school.
Once I realized that it was going to be over, I was a little bit upset and sports were canceled. But once I found out about making these masks, I got really excited because I would have time to do something. And my mom's like, this is a perfect opportunity to teach you how to sew. So we started measuring just some fabric we found in the attic and started making them. And then after my mom posted them on Instagram, people started wanting them, and then it just took off from there.
Tell me how much time you've put in.
Usually it's like maybe 4 hours a day. It's a lot of work, but it's really fun. And I think we've made about 70, if not more.
Piper made some masks for these Riverside teachers, and they used them while handing out schoolwork in the drive-through line this week.
So there's no cost. It's just fun for me and my mom to help other people out. Just made me feel really good.
Next up, a family of heroes. The Nicolaisons are home these days, just like the rest of us. They're making the best of a tough situation with 4 young boys.
We had a little family chat about how so many things have been canceled, like football and music lessons, school, and everything else. But we decided that kindness wasn't canceled, and even though we had to social distance, that we could still be social. We knew how we were feeling about it and figured that other people would probably be feeling the same way. So we brainstormed some little kindness acts that we could do to brighten everyone's day around town. Before we were all told to stay home, we printed little notes. What did the notes say? Germs are contagious.
They could still spread kindness.
Well, we had to get really creative because with the stay in place, we thought, well, we can't really go out into the community. We decided to keep it close to our neighborhood.
We did like a scavenger hunt for neighbors. Then we rang the doorbell and we ran.
And they would open the door, and what would they find?
Like snacks and like some treats.
Like an Easter egg hunt. We scattered things in their bushes and under trees.
So why is it important, Jen, for you as a mom to have your boys take part in this kind of community effort?
The best way to to feel better ourselves is to serve others.
And another hero to tell you about, this is Sarah Sanchez of Nampa. She's the founder of Operation Easter Bunny.
And found about 50 Easter baskets and thought, hey, what can I do with these? I think I'm going to go ahead and fill them up and donate them to people. And so I created a group for people in need, and it just completely took off.
You are obviously helping the Easter Bunny because this is a tough time for the Easter Bunny to get to everyone. He needs some help.
We now have approximately 520 people on the list to receive baskets and treat bags, and we're focusing on people who are really struggling with this COVID-19, whether they're unemployed or medically fragile, health responders and law enforcement who just need a break. I just started tearing up every time I received a story from these families and how hard it is and what they're going through. We've received all donations, monetary and items to fill baskets. We will be delivering them masked and gloved to porches, so there will be a limited exposure for everybody involved.
Sarah says pitching in at a time like this feels so good.
To be able to do this for everybody else is a blessing.
Thanks to Sarah Sanchez and her volunteers, it was a happy Easter for so many families after all. All of these Idahoans are Seven's heroes.
As with this pandemic, it can often bring out the worst in many people, but also draw out the best instincts of humanity. And more than half of South Africa's population does live below the poverty line, but many are continuing to help those less fortunate than them through acts of human kindness. Our correspondent in Johannesburg, Sasha Starr, has the story.
It is said that in times of crises, heroes are born. With many South Africans living on the breadline, items like hand sanitizer and even soap are unaffordable. Non-profit organizations like Cadena South Africa have taken it upon themselves to help their fellow citizens.
We went on a fundraising campaign, and over the last couple of days we've been distributing 990 bottles of hand sanitizer.
Besides the lack of adequate hygiene items, authorities are also battling a wave of misinformation that is being spread across communities almost as rapidly as the virus itself.
We spoke to people and found out that the two biggest things that were missing in the township surrounding Johannesburg was information and hand sanitizers. So we went on a big information campaign. We printed out 10,000 flyers in Zulu. Also in Sotho, we've shot information videos.
In a desperate bid to flatten the curve, the South African government has imposed a 21-day lockdown that includes the closure of shops, restaurants and schools. But for many impoverished children here, this means that they'll go hungry, as the food that they receive at school is the only food they receive the entire day. The Nashua Children's Charity Foundation, which provides meals for 15,000 children, received an overwhelming response from the public after putting out an urgent call for food supplies before the national lockdown came into effect.
More than R250,000 worth of groceries have been dropped off, and people have even dropped off toys. There's been soaps, kitchen towels, Glad wrap, foil, and we've gone as far as people now saying, we didn't have time to drop off, we didn't have time to shop, can we have banking details?
Ordinary citizens have also been sewing masks to donate to healthcare facilities that are in short supply and distributing bars of soap to old age homes and frail care centers. Voluntary non-profit organization The Angel Network is sourcing masks and other protective gear for those who are most at risk.
We are liaising with a doctor who is distributing them to hospitals all over the country, as well as to security companies, medical personnel who are on the ground, ambulance people who are in ambulances and that sort of thing, as well as to millions of people in the townships.
As coronavirus continues to spread throughout the country, South Africans are rallying together to make sure that no one has to face it alone. Sasha Starr, CNA, Johannesburg.
Neighbors a little happier. He's serving free coffee to essential workers. There's Ben Ramirez. He waits by his open window on Pfeiffer Street right near Francisco Middle School, and when he sees a mail carrier or healthcare worker walking by, he offers his services. He said he had the location and the resources to make it happen.
I've always wanted to do something out of this window. You know, we have this nice small street where everybody knows each other. Keep my distance from people with this little guy. This is how I deliver coffee to people. It's with this little arm that I stole from my son.
Ramirez says he had the supplies because he's an aspiring coffee house owner and he's been taking classes. He saw an opportunity to get some practice when the cafes had to close. That's awesome.
The grandparents of Remy, Xavier and Emily dropping a surprise over their Glenelg East fence. It sounds like Nanny and Poppy Morrison.
Happy Easter! Nanny and Poppy, that's what I found!
They said it was them, from the footpath at a safe distance. Nice idea. Staff at Craigmore South Primary prepared an Easter message showing how much they're missing the students, even if they get to hog all the Easter eggs and get to goof off more than normal. Some are interpreting this from teachers and staff of the Flagstaff Hill Primary School as a very direct message to the students. School's much more fun without them. They can stay at home. Frazzled parents have countered by interpreting this as a cry for help, and teachers need and want the students back as soon as possible. Either way, the wait's not being wasted. One sour note, Mrs. Waltham's on a first warning for playing the bagpipes in public. Just in case she did scare the Easter Bunny away, Alyssa from Holden Hill and her dog Bella decided to treat neighbours with a personal delivery service. We hope it was Easter eggs. She did seem to escape in a hurry. I'm sure it was. Tim Noonan, 7 News.